Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to Let's Play Through the Darkest of Times. This will be part 7 of our Let's Play. In the last episode, you were so close. We were this close, you can't see it, but it's really small between my fingers. We nearly blew up that bell, but we were 1 week short. And as I said in the last episode, like, my one complaint about this game, I guess, is it's very unclear exactly when each phase is done. It doesn't give you, like, a countdown. It just sort of goes, oh, like, this week's the last one. And anything that you were trying to do is over. Which kind of sucks. But anyway, World War II has begun. We're in it. We're in the shit now. We've got our newspaper headline straight away. So, Croatia joins the Three-Power Pact, or the Tripartite Pact, if you will. Venice, Croatian Prime Minister Ante Pavlic signs Croatia's accession to a military alliance between Italy, Japan, and the German Reich. Finland leaves the League of Nations. Finland's government says the League of Nations no longer benefits the country and declares its withdrawal. And German embassies in the US to be closed. The US government calls on Germany to close all embassies in the United States. Oh, okay. Wow. Not even a, like, oh guys, why are we here again? No, we're just straight into it? Alright. Okay, so we're back to 10 supporters again, which is not super useful. Right, the Honourable Woman. I don't know what she's for. Okay, so our main goals are as follows, by the looks. We can get safe passage. We are asked to bring a group of Jewish children to a meeting point at the coast and have them picked up by ship. So we could do that. Or we could aim for, and this time we're just going to have to do it as quick as possible. Like, we know now for sure that we just pick one of these goals and we just, boom, go for it. Right, we have the Voice of Freedom, which is break into the Berlin radio tower at the night of the Wehrmacht selection concert and override the propaganda with a message from the resistance. Or ROM the resistance, if you prefer. That could be interesting. Or Frozen Lightning. Spy on a secret research facility of the Wehrmacht and deliver what we find to the Secret Service so the Air Force can destroy it. I think we're looking at this one. And in that case, we need, 3 army uniforms and 3 critical intel. So the way we do this, we know this now, is we basically, like, spread out as much as we can. So we're going to meet a businessman. We're going to send you on it, I guess. Boom. So we do actually have paint buckets. What have we got at the moment? A club, supplies, and paint bucket. Wow, is that a new thing we have to keep track of? Supplies? That would be bad. We're going to contact a social democrat. Boom. Maybe not Ketman. Have we got anyone better? Nah, I mean, Ketman will do it. He'll do it. He'll be fine. We could give him a club. I'll bet you it makes... Okay. So I guess unless something happens, it just makes it a bit more dangerous. We could meet a friend. Bit risky. Wait, why are you so much better at it? Oh, you just straight up have better stats than everyone else, right? Okay. But you know what? No, we don't want to do that. We might have to wait on that one until we get a thing done. Okay, how many marks do we have? 120. So we have quite a few marks. We could buy some paper. Send 3 people. So wait, if we actually send... Okay, so if we send more people on this than the required, we actually get more paper for the same price. Feels pretty strong, so we're going to do that. Okay, our first month, boom. Or first week, we're getting in the shit. 10 people still supporting us, that's fine. Oh, you bastard, we're going to hide. This one's not that important. Okay, we got 2. Again, I guess it's okay. Gerhard Kettner was talking to a former social democrat. Cool. And then... meets a businessman. Nice. Oh, okay. Wow, straight away, we're straight into a cutscene. I sit on a comfortable chair in the shadow of an old apple tree in the Manholt's Allot garden. Volker and Anne Manholt are putting food from a basket on the table. Potato salad, fresh bread, and apple pie. Can I help you with anything? Thank you. That's nice of you. Thank you. That's nice of you, Harry, but no, we're almost done, says Mr. Manhole. We'll join you in a moment. When the basket is empty, Volker places 2 chairs next to me and they take a seat. What do you say? He asks, pointing at the garden around us. This is wonderful. How did you get it? Wasn't easy, says Mrs. Manhole. Everyone wants an Alloth garden right now. There is a long waiting list, but it helps that we have children, and of course the fact that Volker is serving. When do you have to be back at the front? Volker is wearing his Wehrmacht uniform. It's the only detail on this day that reminds us of the fact that we are at war. Too soon, he says. Tomorrow. Tomorrow already? Aren't summer vacations supposed to be longer, I ask? All vacations have been cancelled. I'm not going back to France, but to a secret destination, says Volker. Something is going on. Do you have any ideas what they're planning? You can talk about this later, says Anne. Now we eat, Elspeth. Now we eat. Elspeth, Klaus, go wash your hands and take a seat wherever you like. Take a seat opposite Volker. Anne fills the plates with sausage, potato salad, and a piece of fresh bread. Klaus wipes his hands on his pants and joins us. Thank you, Anne. This looks really delicious. I want more sausage, says Klaus, and holds up his plate, from which all sausage is gone already. Don't eat like that. The rest is for our guest. Wait for Mr. Esser to finish first, says Volker Manhold. But I'm hungry now, says Klaus. Then have more potato salad, says Anne. Let the parents handle this. We're having a little break now, says Anne once we've finished our plates. The Gutmans are coming for coffee and cake. They should be here any minute. You invited those Jews, asked Klaus. Why? Because they're our neighbours, says Anne. Now go and play in the garden. I'll call you when we have cake. Oh, Klaus, right, the child. I asked Volker. What's happening in France? How are things in France, I ask. For the Wehrmacht, it's easy living. Sure, there is a resistance. Yes, there is still the independent part of France with its exile government, but in the eyes of the Wehrmacht, France has been defeated. Without outside help, it won't go anywhere. But Paris will stay Paris, won't it? Well, it's occupied. It is still Paris, sure, but it's dominated by our troops, our police, our secret police. I think back to the beautiful day in Paris I had in the summer of I think back to the beautiful day in Paris I had in the summer of 1936. But how does that affect the lives of the Parisians? Clubs play the music the Germans want to listen to. In theatres, they perform the plays the Germans want to see. And even the brothels, he looks at his wife. So I've heard, he adds, even the brothels cater to the needs of the German occupiers. What I would like to know is, what's up with this secret destination? Where do they send you to, I ask? What is this secret destination? I told you, I don't know, says Volker. Have you heard anything? Any hints? Rumours? There are rumours, says Volker. What do these rumours say? Some say we will attack Russia. Hitler wants to start a war on 2 fronts. Always a mistake, by the way. Don't ever start a war on 2 fronts. On one hand, it makes sense. It's what he always wanted. Hitler hates Russia and the Russians. On the other hand, Germany signed a non-aggression treaty with them. It would open up a war on 2 fronts, which would be insane if you'd ask me, says Volker. A couple roughly around the same age as the Manholts enters the garden, followed by a pale boy of tall stature, whom I estimate to be 15 years old. It's the Gutman, says Volker. Let's continue our conversation later. Yes, of course. For the second time today, we gather around the table. This time Volker and Anne serve apple pie and coffee. The Gutmans have brought a sweet honey cake. Here, take some, says Mr. Gutman, and hands me a piece. Thank you, it's delicious. Anne sends the children in the garden to play. Get up now, will you, Elias? Go play with Klaus. He's a nice boy. You'll see, says Mrs. Gutman. Reluctantly, Elias gets up and joins Klaus and Elspeth. Have more coffee. How's the trip? asks Volker. Fine, says Louis Gutman. It was not fine, disagrees Paula Gutman. It was hot, it was sticky, and it took ages. I really miss going by car. Get over it, says Louis. At least they still let us use the trains. Won't be long until they ban us on the trains too, says Paula. Have we met before? Don't you live on the other side of the street, I ask. They do now, says Anne, before one of the Gutmans can answer. They do now, says Anne, before one of the Gutmans can answer. Louis and Volker used to work together as bookkeepers at Schmid and Schoen. When did you move? Where did you live before? We used to have a house in Steglitz, inherited it from my family, but not anymore, says Paula Gutman. In case you haven't guessed it already, we are Jews. We had to leave our own house in 1938 and were forced to move into what they call a Jew apartment. That must have been tough. We swapped a beautiful place against an overcrowded hole, so some Aryan can live in our house. My apologies, says Louis Gutman. My wife tends to exaggerate. We are fine, really. Our Apartment is fine as well. It's a rat hole, says Paula. It's not right what they did to you. No, it's not, says Paula. I'm sorry for being like that. I know it's not your fault, but it makes me angry every single day. I hear you, says Volker. I can only try to imagine how I would feel. I guess I'd be just as angry as you are. You have every right to be angry. I'm more scared than angry, says Lewis. So far we had something they could take from us. There is nothing left now. The only thing they could still take are our lives. The children yell at each other. Klaus cries of pain and comes running to the table. His nose is bleeding. Take a tissue, stop the bleeding. What happened? Did you fight? Asks Anne. He hit me, says Klaus, and points at Elias, who stands further away, partly hiding behind a tree. Is that true, Elspeth? Klaus's younger sister has come to the table now too, and nods. Why did he hit you? He just hit me, without reason. I haven't done anything, and he hit me. Is that true, Elspeth? The girl looks at her brother and back to her mother without saying anything. He's lying. I don't think he's telling the truth, Anne, I say. I tell you, says Klaus, he's crazy. He just hit me. I asked Elspeth, says Anne. Is that true, Elspeth? Did Elias really just hit Klaus without reason? Watch Elspeth. Elspeth shakes her head. Keep your mouth shut or you'll regret it, yells Klaus. No, she won't. Tell us the truth, Elspeth. What happened? Klaus said that Elias smells bad, says Elspeth. He said that it was a disgrace that they lived in our street. Keep listening. What else did he say? He said that Elias and his family are vermin, and once he was 18, he would join the SS and kill them. You said what? Volker steps up to his son and slaps him in the face. He turns to the Gutmans. I am sorry. I'm really deeply sorry. Please accept my apology and be assured that this is not the way I raised my son. Back, Volker. We are leaving, says Lewis. I know you mean well, but we can't do this. I'm afraid. See, says Klaus, they are cowards. It's what Jews do. Without warning, Volker slaps his son in the face a second time. You shut up now. I don't know who you are anymore, yells Volker. It's not his fault. It's the propaganda. They indoctrinate them. Anne and Volker try to convince the Gutmans to stay in vain. When the family has left the garden, there is loud humming coming from the sky. An air raid? But there was no warning, says Anne. Look up to the sky. I look up and see hundreds, if not thousands, of airplanes flying in one direction. There was no warning because those are ours, says Volker. Where are they going? East, says Volker. Something is happening. Something big. Wow, yeah. Well, look, we've met some decent Germans, though. Like, their kid was probably obviously indoctrinated in the Hitler Youth, but the parents think he's a little shit, so that's good, I guess. Germany invades Soviet Union. Without prior declaration of war, the German Wehrmacht attacks the USSR. Finland declares war on the Soviet Union. Finland declares war on the Soviet Union under the pretext that it had been attacked by USSR troops. Hungary declares war on the Soviet Union. After alleged air attacks by Soviet aircraft on Hungary, the Hungarian government declares war on the USSR. Well, it's official, says Arthur Ender during our meeting. I received my draft notice. Do you need to flee the country? Wait, slow down, he says. I also have good news. I was introduced to a doctor who was sympathetic to my situation. He diagnosed me with a crooked spine and, with his official note in my file, I can't fight. Thank God. I think I speak for all of us when I say that I'm glad you're not joining the Wehrmacht. Cheers to your bad back, I say. He grins and nods. Okay. So, we're going for frozen lightning. So we need uniforms, we need all sorts of things. So I think we need to go for this one straight away if we can. I think I'm okay with this, unless Gerhard Kettmann can do it better, which he definitely can't. So I will go into the green zone, we'll call it. Right, slogans on the walls. So that will get me an army uniform. Okay, so we're going to talk to the workers. Actually, no, we'll do the slogans first. We sort of know we need this. So what do we need for this? Propaganda and empathy. So Amelia Marley, you're like the expert at this. And so is Gerhard Kettmann. Send Arthur Ender as well. Make it a full thing. Wow, Helen Kupfer got really screwed there. Okay, so we can't expand our network, but maybe Helen Kupfer needs a break anyway, so this is fine. Those who aren't serving in the army must help the war effort in other ways, so I have to assist with the Winterhilfswerk in collecting blankets, shoes, food, and money for the soldiers. When I arrive in my assigned neighborhood, I meet a silver-haired man in his 60s who extends his hand. Hi there, I'm Wagner. Good morning, Herr Wagner. He shakes my hand with a smile. Looks like we'll be collecting together this morning. Ready? We walk to our first apartment. I'm trying to hide my discomfort, but Wagner is perceptive. What's wrong? He asks. Asking these people for money is uncomfortable for me. Berlin is already suffering under the rationing, I say. It doesn't feel right to keep asking people for more. Wagner seems generous of spirit. Well, wartime is hard for everyone, but we're already there. We're already here, so let's make the best of it, shall we? Alright then, let's begin. We knock on the first door, and it's a pleasant family that isn't unhappy to see us. They give us a blanket and a bit of money. Wagner hands the mother a token to show that they gave something. That was a good start, says Wagner. So you've done this before? Indeed I have. I've been serving this country for a long time. We spent a few hours going from door to door. Most people are friendly to us, some are annoyed. Wagner takes it all in stride. The last few we meet are quite pleased with the swift victories of the Wehrmacht and hopeful for a quick end to the war. Ask Wagner what he thinks of the war. Well, Wagner begins, I do not share their enthusiasm, but that's because I fought in the last war. And like I said, it's hard on everyone. Do you feel like there's any similarity between the two wars? No, so much has changed, especially the technology. The planes, the boats, the tanks, so much more destructive power. I served on the Eastern Front back in the Great War, and let me tell you, invading Russia is a mistake, and not just because we're fighting on multiple fronts. Was the fighting terrible? I'd rather not go into detail, my friend. It was hideous, to be frank. Suffice to say, if the Wehrmacht can't make a knockout punch before winter, everyone will suffer. All the guns in the world can't shoot down a Russian winter. I'm glad we met. It was a pleasure to meet you, sir, I say. Wagner takes his leave with a smile. His words still ring in my ears. What if the war goes on for years? Plus one supporter. Bit annoying. Wow, and I got away with that too. Hurry, Esser. I am a champion. Okay, so we have a little bit of heat coming up. Nothing serious. 7,000 murdered in massacre. German Wehrmacht task forces in the conquered parts of the USSR murdered about 7,000 people in a massacre in the Viv. Wages are dropping. The salaries of employees in the German Reich have decreased by about 12% in the last 10 years. A retail merchant in 1931 earned 250 Reichsmarks per month. In 1941, he earned only 218 Reichsmarks. British bombers carry out day attack on Kiel. 48 Royal Air Force bombers attack the shipyards. A Wellington plane crashes. Gerhard Kettmann is incensed during tonight's meeting. This is the Reichstag fire all over again. It's so unfair. What do you mean about the Reichstag fire? You remember when the Hitler... As opposed to all those other Hitlers. The Hitler. This is the worst one. But you remember when Hitler blamed the communists for the fire, and it just gave them an excuse to start putting us all in prison, says Gerhard. Well, now that Hitler has broken the truce with Stalin and invaded Russia, they're back to persecuting the communists again. Now my father is in jail for no damn reason. Can we help? Something we can do to help, I ask him. I need a lawyer for my father in prison, but that costs money. Give him 50 marks. We'll help you with that, I say. That's fine. We'll get marks. Don't even worry about it, Gerhard. We have to keep you happy. Ooh, okay, they're not happy about this. I think they're onto us. Contact a priest. Someone's good at that, right? Oh yeah, wait, I'm a Christian liberal. Oh wait, so are you. Yeah, that'd be fine. Send Kettmann. Talk to workers. Ooh. No one's particularly good at this. So who's higher, you or me? About the same, really, aren't we? Okay. We'll think about that in a second, though. Go into hiding. I don't really want to do that just yet. Could buy more paint to paint more slogans. So to do this, we need to observe Wehrmacht activities, which is going to be very dangerous at the moment. So we just need more intel. Boom, you do that. Okay, we're actually going to send 2 people on that one, I think. What do we send Coop for? No. Actually, what if we send... Oh, wait, no. Wait, they're both, like, getting spotted. That's not a good move. Do we send you on this? No. You're awful at that. Why is everyone so awful at that? Worker, idealist, inspiring. Oh, because most of us are, like, academics and white-collar workers. Shit. Yeah, that's fair. We have some stacks of paper. We have some supplies. We've got a bit of everything, so this should be okay. We lost a supporter. Go figure. We should get some here, though. Just hide. Again, it's not the worst. Okay, we had to abort the mission, and Amelia Marla thought she'd been seen, which sucks. Boom. Oh my god. Can we not? Okay, good. And I still haven't been detected. Wow. Man, I'm good at this. I'm good at this espionage resistance thing. Okay, we got a couple of missions complete. We must raise Moscow to the ground. Hitler says, we must raise Moscow to the ground. We don't want any people left who we need to feed during the winter. Great Britain and Soviet Union sign assistance agreement. The agreement excludes separate peace and ceasefire negotiations between an opposing party and the German Reich. German troops attack Malta. German Air Force units attack the Mediterranean island Malta, which is an important supply base of British troops in North Africa. It's true. When I arrive at our meeting, the others are reminiscing. Do you guys remember the Summer Olympics? I miss those days, says Arthur Ender. Sure, I miss how it was before the war began. Yeah, of course, but I don't mean just that. Oh, the nightlife. For a while, this city was the center of the world. So many clubs, music, dancing, people enjoying themselves, and the Nazis were at least pretending to be decent. Nowadays, Berlin seems so somber. Yes, it's such a different place now. I wish there was a way to go back. I feel the same. I feel the same, I say. Alright, but we're doing okay in this thing. Like, I'm keeping heat relatively low. Not massively low, but low enough. Okay, we need to do this. Okay, you're not good at this. Arthur Ender is probably ideal. We're gonna send him anyway. I don't like it, but we might have to. Okay, collecting some donations we will have to do as well. So what do we do for that? It's just empathy. Okay, no one likes you. Actually, wait, what is it? Empathy and propaganda. So, Ketman? Actually, Ketman's very good at that, so we might even do that. Now, I'll go into, like, the green zone and meet a friend. Because I'm completely unknown by the SS. Forced Laborer. Send a pair of them? Ugh, no, that doesn't really help at all, does it? You're garbage at that. I actually have, like, no empathy at all. I don't know if it's worth sending 2 people on that. Meet a friend? Oh, yeah, wow, you're amazing at that. You do that. Helen Kupfer, you have a very annoying skill set, I'll be honest. Because what's yours? You're like strength and secrecy, which is not kind of a thing we do a lot of. I feel like I haven't built you well. We have literacy as well. Yeah, empathy's a bit of a common skill here. I guess it, like, to make the connections you need to have high empathy. See, she's quite good at that. So once this calms down, I think we send Helen Kupfer in again. Actually, wait. Maybe you go with Ketman. What is that one? It's collect donations. Okay, I'll send you on this. Honestly, I think that's okay, because that gives us more money. So I think I'm okay with that. Okay, see if I can go 3 for 3. Oh my god, I can. Wow. No one suspects old Harrow Esser. Gerhard Ketman. Nice. Gerhard thinks he's been seen, that's fine. We sort of knew someone had to get seen. I think she's been seen. Again, it's kind of okay. And Arthur thinks he's been seen as well. Okay. That's kind of annoying, but we'll see. Alliance offered to Japan. Berlin. The Führer offers the Japanese government an alliance for the annihilation of the USSR and the USA. Submarines and planes instead of tanks. Hitler orders to focus on building submarines and aircraft. He considers the war against the Soviet Union as won. Rogachev and Schloben fallen. The Soviet Red Army recaptures the cities of Rogachev and Schloben and defeats the occupying Wehrmacht divisions. Arthur Ender looks flabbergasted as he enters the room. I have to tell you something, he says. My neighbours, a married couple, both party members. I had a decent relationship with them before, and I know for a fact that they couldn't have children, but then I saw them together yesterday with a small child, a little girl about 4 years old, and she spoke Russian. Are you sure she spoke Russian? Maybe she can't speak properly yet. Hold on, hold on. I asked them where they got her, and they told me that they were her new parents, adopted from Russia. New parents! Do you understand? The Nazis are taking healthy children from their Russian families and sending them to Germany. They even gave her a new name, Helga. Every time I think the Nazis can't become any more inhuman, they still manage to surprise me. I can't believe it myself. The worst thing is that they don't even seem to understand what might be wrong with this situation. Arthur shakes his head. Morale's getting real low. Okay, red herrings. You actually good at that? No. No. Wow, I have a lot of marks. Probably should spend them on something. Okay, they're really cracking down across the board. We need to... I guess Arthur Ender's good at that, but he's a bit hot right now. Okay, I'm going to talk to the Christian community. Set up a hideout. Collect donations, get a fake passport. Okay, so we see 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we know where all of the things are. Don't really want a gun. I feel like that's a bit excessive. I feel like if we start stealing guns, we're going to be in trouble. You know what? I miss our bike. Miss the old bike. That was really good. We're actually going to increase your empathy. It seems like we use it for just a bunch of stuff. Maybe we have to do this. Secrecy and empathy. Arthur Ender's amazing at that, but he's also going to be the #1 person to get bloody found out by it. I don't just want to like have a week off, but I don't see that we really have a choice. I don't know what set up a hideout does. Like donation, so we have to write slogans to do that, which need paint. So maybe we have to go buy paint. Send someone to go do that. Like Ketman, he's pretty good at that. Do we even need you? We'll send you anyway. We'll send you anyway. Okay, and other than that, I think we're going to have the week off. Actually, how much money do we have? 171. Maybe we just go into hiding for a bit. Maybe send you two into hiding. See if we can drop at least one of them down. Might be the way. Okay, they both think they've been seen, which is pretty bad because they're getting up there, but we can deal with this. Then I go talk to the Christian community. That should go just fine. Yeah, went absolutely fine. It's raining lightly, but the air is still warm as I walk to the movies for my secret meeting. I'm the only customer in line at the ticket booth. 1 ticket, please. I pay for the ticket and enter the movie theater. The room is nearly empty, just a handful of people trying to sit as far away from each other as possible. Most of them are in the back, some in the middle, no one in the front. I'm going to sit in the front. Far away from everyone else, I take a seat in the front row. The Wochenschau, the official news magazine, is showing reports of victories from the Eastern Front. Follow the news. Grinning soldiers, humming cannons, and burning buildings, all very similar to the Western Front a year ago. Someone takes a seat behind me and whispers, "Don't turn around." Keep looking at the screen. Keep looking at the screen, where Hitler is honouring a general for his achievements. "It's good you came," she says from behind. I recognise that voice. I know who this is. It's Hannah. I met her in Paris in 1936. Back then she was trying to convince me to work with the Soviets. Seeing her now, working as a Soviet agent, doesn't come as a surprise. The movie starts. It's a romantic comedy called Happiness is for Everyone. Glad you made it out of Paris. You are mistaken. I never met you before, and I've never been to Paris. Do you understand? Sure I understand. Good, she says. Listen, Hitler's campaign in the East is very different from the one in France. People need to be told about this. On screen, Albert Schumann and Irmi Fahl, an engaged couple, are arguing about his sluggish career. What do you want me to do? This is not a war in which soldiers fight each other. This is a war against the Red Army and against all civilians. We are still in the process of proving that this occurred under official orders, but since it keeps happening in the same way, I think that it is. People in Germany need to learn about this. What have you seen? 1 week after the German attack, I was part of a Red Army squad. We were defending a village, but we didn't stand a chance against the Wehrmacht. I managed to escape, but the rest of my squad was taken prisoner. What happened to them? The German officer had them line up on the main road. He spoke to his soldiers and told them that these people were thoroughly Bolshevized, that they were subhuman and had to die. The Prisoners are forced to get on their knees. They interrogate them? On screen, Albert Schumann mimics an excessively lazy employee. The audience laughs. The officer pulled his pistol, stood behind each prisoner, and shot them in the head, one by one. That's horrific, but the officer was SS, I assume. This was just the regular Wehrmacht. There was no SS. I know what they look like, says the woman who insists she is not Hannah. On screen, Ermi tries to convince her mother that Albert will make a good husband. What did you do next? On screen, Ermi and Albert get married. I waited for the soldiers to leave the village, then secretly follow the German troops eastwards. I was hoping to get to the front to reunite with my troops. Did you reach the front line? I came through a settlement where an old man and his wife hung from a tree. The Germans had put a sign around their necks to warn the others never to cooperate with partisans. From then on, I saw people hung from trees in almost every village I passed through. Are there many partisans fighting against the Wehrmacht? Maybe. It is a strategy of the Red Army to fall back behind enemy lines and attack their blind side. But what I know for sure is that for every dead German soldier, the Wehrmacht murders dozens of innocent civilians out of revenge and cruelty. Are you really sure it wasn't the Waffen-SS? They look similar. Waffen-SS and task forces follow the regular troops, but the Wehrmacht does its part, believe me. On my journey, I came through a village that seemed to be entirely empty. At first I thought the villagers had all fled. But they hadn't fled? No, they didn't flee. They were all still there. Albert Schumann, now happily married, has become even lazier at work, which sparks hysterical laughter in the cinema. Where were they? I found them in a pit nearby. The Wehrmacht had shot them and thrown them in a dirt hole. All of them. Men, women, children alike. I don't know what to say. On the screen, a confused Albert Schumann is being bribed by his boss. The audience bellows with laughter. They had tried to burn the bodies, but the damp weather foiled them. What did you do? I went through the pile to see if there were any survivors. It was awful. It reeked of burned flesh and decay. I threw up several times. In the end, it was all for nothing. They had killed everyone. This can't be true. It is true. This is not a regular war. This is not like France. These troops have not come to conquer and rule. They've come to annihilate. Their enemies aren't just soldiers. Their enemy is everybody, including the innocent villagers. But why? What's the purpose of this? Don't you get it? This has always been Hitler's goal. He wants to exterminate the Slav and the Jews, to rid the East of all subhumans, to create a home for his Aryan race. I didn't think they'd really do it. No, almost no one thought they would, says Hannah. But I knew she was right. Even in Mein Kampf, the book Hitler wrote almost 20 years ago, he had already planned out what Anna was describing now. On screen, Ermi saves her husband's career, and Albert seizes his second chance. How can it be stopped? The world needs to know about this. If we could find the official order which proves that this isn't some mercenary Wehrmacht squad committing war crimes on its own initiative, we need to prove that this was officially ordered from above, that this is systematic. I'm not sure we're capable of finding a secret Wehrmacht order, but we will try. Thank you, says Hannah. If you manage to find the official order and put it in the right hands, it might change the course of the war. On screen, the plot has cleared its final hurdle, Ermi and Albert's accidental divorce, and is now heading towards a happy ending. You mean America would join the war if they knew? Maybe. I need to go now. Contact me through the usual means if you learn anything. And then she's gone. On screen, the happy couple decides to remarry, leave the cinema. On my way home, I think about the atrocities that Hannah told me about. Could it be true? I trust the Nazis to commit almost any crime, but full-scale genocide? If the order Hannah was talking about exists, it would clarify things. Finding the order could change everything, not only for us, but for the entire world. Boom. Okay, well, we are going to leave this episode here. It's really heating up. This is sort of the section of the game that I'm sort of most excited about. I'm a bit of a Civil War, a World War II nerd, and this whole thing, like, they've done a really good job of capturing this entire time, and I'm really excited to just see how this game keeps going. But anyway, guys, we are going to leave this episode here. So thank you very much, everyone, for watching. If you like this video, make sure you hit that like button. If you want to see more content from me, the Aussie Nerd, feel free to subscribe to my channel and check out the other videos on there. If you think you know any friends might enjoy my content, make sure you share a video or two with them. I really appreciate it. And finally, if you want to leave any hints, tips, tricks, feedback of videos, or you just want to say hi, make sure you do so in the comments section down below so I can see it. I'll see all of you guys in the next episode. Goodbye.